Changing our eating habits to healthier ones can feel daunting. It's common to ask for help from a friend who looks good, or a social media guru, possibly a 20-something who looks amazing. However, this can lead to outdated recommendations that can disrupt our hormone balance and gut microbiome. Suggestions that work well for a certain body type at a certain age may not work for us, leading to feeling worse and thinking, I'm a lost cause, I will never be able to change things. In this video, we will look at the mistakes we may be making when trying to eat healthier and how to fix them. Believe me, I've made many of them myself and learned my lessons. 1. We want to do it all at once. We have finally made the decision to change our eating habits, and I've made a list of all the habits we want to incorporate into our daily routine. A list that's most probably quite long. At first, we feel excited and find the time to keep up with them for the first couple of days. However, life gets in the way and we might become too busy to keep up with any of them, and we end up going back to our old routines. How to fix it? First, let's keep in mind that changes in our body don't happen faster just because we try to do everything at once. So let's start by making a list of the habits we want to introduce into our lifestyle and choose the one or two that feel the easiest to start with. Then let's find the best time of day for those habits to occur easily. If we feel resistance, we should consider moving the habits to a different time of day or choosing a different habit that feels easier to start with. For example, suppose you want to start a food diary and think it's best to write everything down at night. However, you start noticing that you are waking up in the middle of the night thinking of something that you forgot to write down. It might be better to take notes as soon as you eat or drink something. Instead of waiting to sit down in front of your computer or your journal, you can simply take notes on your phone. If you feel that your lifestyle needs a proper makeover but you don't know where to start, consider hiring a coach, or better yet, a nutrition coach. They can advise you on the best habits to adopt and guide you step by step through the process of making changes. 2. We switch regular sodas to diet sodas. Not only did the food industry screw us over when they introduced sodas to the market, but they also misled us into believing they fixed the problem by introducing diet sodas. Did they really though? Regular soda drinkers might feel better by switching to diet soda, and this could be a good first step. However, observational data has shown that consuming diet soda on a daily basis is associated with a greater risk of metabolic syndrome and type 2 diabetes. In addition, the use of sweeteners in diet sodas has been linked to metabolic abnormalities caused by an alteration of the gut microbiota. How to fix it? The best and most obvious solution to fix this problem is to stop drinking sodas. However, I know that it can be very difficult to break such a habit. Therefore, let's start slowly. We can begin by reducing the amount of sodas we drink and looking for healthy alternatives such as functional sodas or flavored homemade sparkling water. Assuming you're also changing your diet at the same time, reducing your soda intake can actually happen naturally. In fact, as we start eating more whole foods and cutting back on ultra-processed options, our taste buds will change and eventually sodas might taste too artificial to enjoy. Okay, confession time. I used to add sugar to sodas. Yep. On one hand, I didn't like the bubbles, and with the sugar I could get rid of them. Plus, I found that Coke was a bit too bitter for me. Crazy, right? So believe me when I say that I have been there, and while it might seem impossible, stay positive and trust the process. 3. We start eating boring foods. Many people, myself included a few years ago, think that healthy eating looks like boring undressed salads, boiled mushy vegetables, and unflavored everything. The main reason for this belief is that for many years we have been told that fat is bad for us. It makes us fat and sick. In her book, The Big Fat Surprise, investigative journalist Nina Teicholz explores the history of how the low-fat diet became popular and how politics and economics have influenced scientific research on this topic. Unfortunately, as a result, for multiple decades, we have been taught that eating healthy means getting rid of fat, which is actually essential to elevate flavors in any meal. How to fix it? Stop being afraid of fat and start incorporating into your diet. Yes, I'm talking about butter, extra virgin olive oil, full-fat milk and yogurt, as well as eggs, fatty fish, and meat. Just to clarify, I'm not talking about fried foods and seed oils. In addition, let's make sure to consume everything in moderation and as part of a balanced meal that includes plenty of plant-based ingredients. Spices and herbs can also be used to make food more interesting, and there are many online recipes available for inspiration. A quick way to know if a recipe is healthy is by looking at the list of ingredients. If it only includes whole foods, it's good for us. 4. We forget about protein. As we have just discussed, we have been taught for decades that meat, eggs, and cheese are bad for our heart and that fatty fish like salmon makes us fat. As a result, healthy eating is automatically associated exclusively with lots of vegetables. We obviously want to have plenty of vegetables in our diet and even better, a big variety. However, we can't forget about the importance of protein. Protein is an essential macronutrient that plays multiple roles in our body. It helps with building and repairing tissues, oxygenating the body, aiding in digestion, and regulating hormones. In addition, it keeps us feeling full for longer periods of time. How to fix it? Make sure each of your meals contain enough protein by studying them. As a general rule, a portion of animal protein should be no larger than the size of your palm. If you prefer more precise measurements, you can calculate the number of grams of protein you need daily and distribute them evenly among your meals. If you are not an active person, aim to consume around 1.2 grams of protein per kilo of your body weight. If you are very active, aim for up to 1.6 grams per kilo of your body weight. For example, if you weigh 55 kilograms and are quite active, you should consume around 77 grams of protein each day. Remember to pair your protein intake with plenty of plant-based foods. 5. Too many restrictions. Another common mistake when starting to eat healthier is depriving ourselves of foods that typically bring us comfort. I'm referring to ultra-processed foods and really anything that contains sugar and carbs. How to fix it? I know some people do better with a black or white approach. For instance, if they think they are eating too much sugar, they would rather quit cold turkey. I, on the other hand, am more of a different shades of gray type of person. Instead of completely cutting out sugar, I allow myself to indulge in sweets and desserts every now and then, but I make sure they are worth it. I like to find a balance, and an 80-20 approach works well for me. As long as I eat well 80% of the time, I can enjoy the other 20% without feeling guilty or experiencing negative effects on my body. 6. We think we have to start a diet. As previously stated, healthy eating is often associated with consuming lots of vegetables, leading many to believe that vegetarianism or veganism is the only solution. I can't tell you how many times I've been asked if I'm vegetarian simply because I'm a nutritionist, I cook at home, and I value health. On the other hand, due to exposure to the idea that carbs are bad for us, some people might believe that a low-carb or keto diet is necessary for healthy eating. How to fix it? If you want to try any of these diets for a specific reason or simply to experiment and see how you would feel on them, I think it's great. Just be sure to do your own research and follow them in the healthiest way possible. And if you are omnivore or you are already following a specific diet, just learn how to make balanced meals and keep in mind Michael Pollan's 3 easy rules. Eat food, not too much, mostly plants. 7. Replace snacks with fruit juices. Fruits are whole foods and they are rich in micronutrients, so it's normal to think that they make a perfect healthy snack. I used to believe that for a while, and my late afternoon snack used to be a fruit salad containing 5 different fruits. Yes, 5 and in between meals. Now that I know I was spiking my blood glucose levels, it's no surprise that I was hungry again after only a couple of hours. What's even worse is replacing snacks with fruit smoothies or juices. When we make these drinks, we strip the fruit of its fiber, which is not only beneficial for our gut, but it also helps our body absorb the sugar in fruit more slowly. How to fix it? Eat your fruit instead of drinking it. Ideally, eat your fruits with some fat, such as yogurt, nuts or nut butters, or cheese, or after glucose-friendly full meal. If you really want to have a smoothie or a juice, be sure to take a walk or move around after drinking it. 8. We think we should eat less at breakfast. Breakfast has been the most confusing meal of the day for decades. Some believe it to be the most important meal of the day, while others recommend skipping it if you want to lose weight. As a result, some people avoid eating anything and just have coffee, usually with milk and sugar, to get some energy. How to fix it? First, it's important to note that adding sugar and milk to coffee will likely spike your blood glucose and interrupt your fasting, leading to hunger after just a couple of hours. If you're not typically hungry in the morning, consider prolonging your fasting window and opting for black coffee if you do choose to have it. Personally, I believe that the meal break in our fast is the most important meal of the day, because if we don't eat correctly, it can negatively impact the rest of our day. What I mean is that if our breakfast causes a glucose spike, there is a high chance that our blood glucose levels will fluctuate throughout the day, making us hungrier, crankier, and leading to cravings. How can we be sure that our breakfast keeps our blood glucose stable? One way is by adding enough protein and fat to the meal. A simple solution is to eat a savory breakfast, or if you like a sweet breakfast like me, try eating some eggs first. 9. Lack of planning. How many times have you gone grocery shopping without a list with the good intention of buying lots of veggies and fruits, only to end up throwing half of them away because you weren't sure what to cook? I have been there. And that's why now I plan my meals in advance to avoid food waste. How to fix it? Meal planning involves choosing recipes in advance for the week and making a grocery list with all the necessary ingredients. Keeping a recipe database can be a great help in the process, and you can even create menus to take it a step further. I have been creating menus for my parents since last summer. For each season, I create 7 or 8 menus, with each menu including 4 recipes and a grocery list. Since my parents can no longer cook for themselves, we hire someone to make all 4 recipes in one day and store them in the fridge for the entire week. While it takes time to create the menus and ensure enough recipe variety, the time saved is definitely worth it. 10. Wrong focus. If I had a penny for every time I heard someone recommending avocado or kale. Don't get me wrong, they're great and should be part of a healthy diet. But there are so many other ingredients that we should make sure to eat too. If we choose to eat only the ingredients someone told us are healthy, there is a chance we don't like them all. And we would end up forcing ourselves to eat them just because they're healthy. This could potentially lead to a craving for unhealthy foods because we want to taste something we enjoy, or maybe because we want to reward ourselves for eating something healthy even if we don't like it. As mentioned before, having a varied diet is crucial to maintaining a healthy gut. Eating kale and avocado in every meal does not provide enough variety. Not to mention, if you live in a country where these ingredients need to travel a long way to get to you, it's not very sustainable. How to fix it? The easiest way to consume locally produced ingredients is by preparing traditional recipes from the country you're in, or eat up the farmer's market. Additionally, seeking out recipes with different ingredients as the main component makes it easy to maintain variety in our diet. If we decide to create the menus mentioned in the previous points, it will be even easier to keep track and ensure variety. I hope your journey to create healthier eating habits is successful. And you might also benefit from having a look at this video here, where I discuss how eating habits affect our health and how to choose the best ones for us.